Welcome to Guns, Gear, and Guns with Gary Gunderson. I'm Gary Gunderson. Today we have a Doublestar AK stamped universal receiver block, which I am going to install on my PSA K47 GF3. I wanted to do something different with the furniture, but I also wanted to put in something that was reversible. A lot of the receiver blocks I've seen have you actually cutting off the tang on these stamped receivers, and I wanted to avoid that. Now, this Doublestar product didn't come with anything else. There's no instructions, but I think it should be pretty easy to figure out. So let's take this other one apart and then take a look. As with most AKs, you press in this here to remove the dust cover. Then you remove the spring, and then you have access to both screws. So I'm just going to take this buttstock off to begin. Let's go over all the parts that came with this so we can figure out how to install it correctly. Now it comes with 4 identical hex head screws, 2 nuts, a small screw with a washer, and a sling swivel. The small screw and washer and the sling swivel obviously use in these holes on either side, so you can decide which side you want your sling to be situated. 2 of these screws are going to be used on this interior screw hole that is actually going to be in the receiver and is used to help hold it in tight with just surface tension. So you need to tighten up just enough that's tight fit going in and out to help keep it stable. The nuts and other screws are used with the tang. This channel is arranged so you can slide the nuts in one way and they will not spin. So it's essentially like screwing into a stable hole. Off camera, I tried using the screws in these retaining holes that fit inside the receiver block, but on this case with the PSA K47 GF3, even tightened it all the way down, this makes it too tight to go into the receiver. So I'm just going to leave them out and put it in as is. I actually don't know what these holes are for in the top of this receiver block. Unless it's just some sort of AK configuration I'm not aware of. But there aren't any screws that came with it that fit them, so I'm not really sure what they're there to do. If you know what they're for, please let me know in the comments, because I don't have a clue. And like I said, there were no instructions with this thing. Here's a closer look at the receiver block. You need a 1/8 hex head on these screws that come with it. One thing worth noting about the GF3 is this tang piece actually comes off. So you probably didn't need a universal receiver block like I purchased to get this to work. And the channel thankfully goes all the way to the back, so you can just slide in one of the nuts with this new receiver block in place. And you can push it into the correct spot with your Allen wrench. See it poke out there. Oop, a little too far. All right. Then just drop in the hex head. You should be able to screw it right in. All right. That one's done. I'll just use another. All you need is the next nut. That went too far. There you go. It's lined up. And there you have it. It's pretty stable. I have a skeleton stock we can put on to test out a little bit better. For demonstration purposes, I'll show you how you just screw in this sling swivel here, since it's threaded. All right. There you go. I'm actually waiting for another piece to make this a folding stock, but for right now, I'll just put on this skeleton stock. All right, this is installed now, and it seems to be pretty good. So I've got it tightened down nice and tight, and I do not have any wobble in there. So that's pretty good. This is the skeleton stock. It's by the same company. I just thought I'd give it a try. I'm still waiting on the piece for the folding mechanism that's out of stock and backward right now. I'll probably do a review on that and the actual skeleton stock once I get everything completely assembled. It's also worth noting that there are 2 sets of screw holes on the back of this adapter receiver. So if this is a little too high for you for your cheek weld, it can actually be lower a little bit. I went ahead and used the high one just because I was assembling it together right now. I haven't really tested that part out yet. Here you can see the back options. You can have a little bit higher or lower stock when you assemble it all together. So there you have it. You need a screwdriver to take apart the initial stock, depending on what heads you have. And then you need some sort of hex head or Allen wrenches to put it back together. And just to give you an idea of the length of pull difference, with this universal block and the skeleton stock, it's actually slightly longer than the standard stock. It's hard to see based on the angle here, but let me pull it up just directly. So yeah, it's slightly longer. And it's actually going to end up longer if I use a folding mechanism with this. But the actual block itself seems to be pretty good. It's not the cheapest thing. If I wanted something universal, I could switch from AK to AK depending on how I want something configured at the time. Color looks pretty good. Seems stable, doesn't wobble. I may do a follow-up in the future after I have more experience with this and let you know if something starts to deteriorate or anything. But yeah, that's the Ace Doublestar AK stamped universal receiver block. Alright, if you liked this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing some other AK furniture stuff coming up, along with other videos as well. Thanks for watching.